Haka jingelang jong baro ki political party ke belalong mata kesengi kakak kendai tarik jong jemang araja rapulai Komiti rang bak kajela ukon rak sangma oleh tu bagan di kajelang kala sim ya karai ban thung deka komiti halor ka roster system na ka mata ban pensai bat pen sengotu khamba shu haka bede bagan jempetrikam ya ka roster system bat kat bakan ke komiti kapat ai ya ka report na kalyang jong komiti rang bak oleh tu baya baro ki jingkhot thungkam la pynsangeh no shuwa Naikan ke komiti lakukan syai berkanyakan betik tentang halor roster system bahkan MDA halor state reservation policy. Hab kedai buat roster system umat rang ba olapan syairu bahkan umdan setia kan ke jingkat yang din bahkan umdan setia kan ke jing bu snem lalu pat nanu impentrikam namar bakar roster system kedai be bantrikam hak badan state reservation policy. Ongru bakata kajing lum jingkhen ki tantai kam baper kabli setiap penduduk kami ne yunuh dari kecurian baik tang sim jingkhen aman tip adu katnu kajing thungkam kaya kat kum state reservation policy
dwelt into the issue of roster only, or it will extend to the what people are demanding for review of the reservation?
No, it's on roster.
Any timelines are being given to this committee?
We are coming up with terms of references, but it will be very, very short and quick because, as I said, we have discussed most of the issues today. I am pretty sure that I think more than 80-90% of the issues have been addressed. But since it is a sensitive topic, we as a government feel that it's important to reach out, important to discuss, important to take everybody into confidence, and then only move forward. And hence, we have decided to come up with this committee.
So pending the report of this committee, the government will immediately put on hold all
new recruitments, new advertisements. New advertisements for recruitments will be put up. New advertisements.
So the ongoing ones, what will happen?
The ongoing ones are ongoing right now. So those, of course, the process has started. The youth are obviously have given exams and interviews and they're waiting. So that the normal procedure and the process will follow.
So most of the political parties, we have spoken to them, most of the leaders, they have stressed on the roster to be implemented prospectively, sir.
I have explained to everybody that the roster system is a continuous process. It starts from 72 and it continues. It is important for us to understand the starting point because it allows us to understand where we are in the roster today. But while we say that, we have to also remember that in the past 50 years, whatever has happened in the recruitment process, which we have plotted in the roster system, is something that has been done based on reservation policy and based on the rules of reservation policy. Hence, for us today, to go back into the facts and figures and go back into the appointments that have been made during that time under whatever process that was done is not possible for us to go back and make changes into it. And hence, the data and information allows us to plot and understand where we stand in the sequence. But as I said, the option or the concern that we will go back and change things in the past does not arise.
What is the cutoff here then? I mean, there should be an year which from where you...
As I said, there is nothing called cutoff. It's a continuous process. And from now on, the roster continues. But where we stand in the roster, we need the data from the past to allow us to understand where we stand. That is the purpose of going back into the data. But while we go back into the data, there is no intention of the government to go back into the recruitments that were made and make adjustments or make cancellations of that. Because those were done on the basis of reservation policy and provisions that were there in the reservation policy, decisions made by the then governments.
So new recruitments, existing recruitments?
That will follow the new roster system, and that's the reason why, to know the sequence, whether we start from 1, 2, 3, 5 or 10, that particular data will allow us to move forward in the roster system. And this roster system will be implemented as per the norms and as per the reservation policy. And this will allow and ensure that the roster system is implemented in letter and spirit. But I repeat again that for us now to look at this data, which we have in the past, go back into it, dig into it, and try to change things, that's not feasible and that's not possible. So that is not going to happen. So therefore, we are going to move forward, but to understand which step and which point from which we're going to move forward, we need the past data to let us know that.
So how will be the data collection?
So we have started collection in many areas. many departments, and we have received them also. In some department, it is not available. So we will see wherever it's possible, and when it's not possible, we'll take a call.
So, like the education department, which the
Absolutely.
government has no data, how will you deal
It's
with?
not that we don't have any data, we have the data, but since the education department was also run by the district councils at one point in time, and hence those data are not with us in full details. So hence that is the issue that we have to look at, and therefore there are certain departments which are complicated like that. But again, I repeat, which is the most important part which I want to stress on, is that this information and data which we are collecting is in no way going to be impacting the decision we take for what has happened in the past. So there's no question of us going into the details of the past to rectify things and to cancel appointments or to make adjustments. That is not what the intention of collecting the data from the past is. And that those kind of actions will not be taken. And this is what has been communicated to the political parties.
So why was the roster not followed from 1972?
Yeah.
What was the reason?
Well, that ask the former chief ministers and the former governments earlier, because that's something that I cannot answer for them. But yes, I think there's no use digging into the reasons why it was not done. But the fact is, it was not done. And as you know, that this roster system, without a roster system, reservation is actually meaningless. And I think the presentations are there. We will, if necessary, without the cameras, we can give a small presentation to you also. Is Cyril still here? Cyril, you have to do it just one more time. So I would like the press also to see that at least what the roster means, so that they can understand what roster system is. So you can just understand it also. It will be good, I think, for the press also to understand what it is.
So, the Voice of the People Party has